this event is about? Are y'all familiar? Anybody raise your hand, you know? You don't know? Okay, so how many young men we got in here? So we have 12 young men in the building. And 12 great minds, not potentially great minds, but 12 great minds. Now, what you do with your greatness is the question. And so, if y'all look around the room, you got a lot of wisdom in the room right now. You got people you can call and ask any kind of questions you need answered to help you guide you along this journey of life, all right? These are your speakers right here. I'm gonna get these guys to introduce themselves, and then we'll go from there.
What's happening, everybody? I'm Chrief Prescott, author, social media personality, and I'm your speaker today. It's a pleasure to be with you guys.
All right. My name is Patrick Johnson. I am a pastor, a husband, a father. I'm from this area, grew up in this area. I'm looking forward to sharing with you all.
I got to follow that. My name is Richard Bass. I own an insurance business, but I'm from the area too. Father of all daughters. I got 3 daughters, so this opportunity is special to me since I don't have a son. Just to be a part of the men youth in our community and to help build you guys up is opportunity.
I'm Jordan Garner. I'm from this area as well, and I'm also a trainer. So if any of y'all need some training, football, basketball, track, whatever, I can help y'all out.
All right, y'all. So starting out, we're gonna start out with Mr. Prescott, and he's got a couple of topics that he's gonna talk to y'all about, and we'll go ahead and kick it off.
What's up? As I said, I'm Chrief Prescott. I'm also from Carrollton. I'm a social media personality. I'm an author and so forth. And what I want to point out to you guys is, as he stated a moment ago, the greatness that you all possess. The only thing one must do is know how to tap into it. And once you tap into it, don't be afraid to embrace what you are. There's this thing called social circles that we all belong to. And at our young age, as you guys are, we don't quite understand the ramifications of a social circle and how they influence our life, whether that may be positive or negative, because you have positive motivations inside social circles, and you have the negative motivations inside social circles, such as, I don't know what's motivating the young man that keep talking while, we're speaking. That's what I'm saying about, tapping into who you are. You're here for a purpose because there's greatness in you. And I want to point out some things when it comes to social circles. We have peer influence. The effect that social circles has on a young person's behavior, values, and decisions is known as peer influence. For instance, we had an incident here in Carrollton where some young men, some superstar athletes, kind of made some wrong choices, based upon social circles and what influenced them to do the things that they've done, which is a terrible thing. They had the life ahead of them, but now it seems to be that their life is lost. Now, not digging too deep into that, you still have to ask yourselves as young men, what caused these guys to decide to go the route that they went? Influence, peer influence. If you're inside my social circle and I'm influencing you to do something that you shouldn't do, that you know internally, intrinsically is wrong, but you go along with me anyways. When I lose my life to the system because you made a conscious decision to follow me because you think this is the cool thing to do, you're gonna lose your life at the same time. That's a terrible thing. We often in our communities like to think that being cool, being hard, having the finest clothes and all those things that really don't matter is the route to take. I myself fell victim to that in my younger age until life reared its ugly face in the most negative, horrid way I could possibly think of. But I overcame it. I got myself out of the streets. I sought other emotional support from different people who later on became my peers. And with that being said, here I am today sitting before you as an author and a social media personality, which I have my own podcast called Carbon Ether Podcast, where I share informative information, especially about our history, which isn't typically taught in schools. But I myself love sharing this history because it's all about us. There's nobody going to stand up for us inside our communities like ourselves. When we're running around thinking, have ops and, want to fight and chase all the girls and what have you, that's not the road to take. The road to take is self-identification, understanding who you are, recognize you inside your own zeal. That's the most important thing. Wanting to be something else outside of yourself is awesome. That's what we can look at. It says, I would like to lead a lifestyle like this, but you have to understand what it takes to lead a certain lifestyle. In order to be a great basketball player, my man on the end just said he's a trainer. Whatever you want, basically he's offering a one-stop shop. He's got you. If you need some emotional support, you can't get it at home, you can't get it inside your social circles. My man to the right of me, which I think I grew up with his father, he's a preacher. And then as you push forward, and as you begin to grow your brand, you yourself is your own brand. You're your brand first before anything else. My man right here with the 3 daughters mentioned he has an insurance company. So now you can insure yourself. You've been trained, you sought spiritual guidance, and now you can make certain that you set yourself up and your family up by way of insurance. This is what can happen in a social circle that's meaningful. Without that type of social circle, you're not gonna go anywhere. Academics is important. To be smart, to be called a nerd, should be a compliment and not anything what you look at as something negative. If I would have used the intellect that I have today when I got into high school, instead of wanting to join the cool social circle, my life might not have taken the turn that it took. But as I push forward, we talked about emotional support. Now, and we also mentioned social identity. Who am I today? I can sit before you today and tell you I'm a social media personality. I'm an author. I created my very own podcast. I funded it all. I can now insure it all because my man is right there, and I can go to him and pray that nothing happens to it, and then I can follow up my man and train me to get the strength that I need. Everything that you possess inside yourself, you was born with. It's an innate trait. Your parents instills it in you. Instead of arguing with your parents, understand when your parents saying stay away from the streets, you shouldn't hang out with him, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. Don't take it as your parents trying to control every aspect of your life. But without that guidance, you can't guide yourself because your brain doesn't function that way at this particular time in your life. Now, if you look at my shirt, this is me, because the social circle I run with, which are basically academics, pushed me to create this. You can find it on lulu.com, lulu.com, CHRIEFPRESCOTT. How was I able to achieve this? Because the social circle I run with were all positive. Chrief, you should write. Chrief, you should do this, you should do that, you should write. Forget everything else. Pick up your passion, the way you speak, the way you do these things. This is what you should do. If you guys like basketball, you can't make it to the NBA or wherever you see yourself playing in high school or college, if when you should be practicing, homie comes down the streets like, yo, Rashad, come on, man, let's run down here around the corner, there's some girls over here. Or let's go over here and play the video game. Now you're shortchanging yourself. Again, you have to look at your self-worth. That's called efficacy. Know what you're worth. Know what the world around you means to you. Know what the world that you see yourself in means to you. Because if you let your social circle and the negative connotation dictate what you're gonna do for the rest of your life, I can guarantee you the road that you may take will will be the road that you will live to regret the rest of your life. Again, let's think about the young men, the superstar athletes that made a bad choice. Because being cool is a thing to be, when being smart is the better thing to be. And I thank you for your time.
Right on time, bro. Anybody got any questions you want to ask,
Yeah, please.
Mr. Prescott?
Shoot or ask me later, doesn't matter.
So at this time, we'll be moving on to our next speaker, Mr. Patrick Johnson, avoiding risky behavior.
Yeah, avoiding risky behavior. What's our age groups in here? Who the youngest? Which one of y'all the youngest out of all our fellas? He pointed you out, bro. Which one is it? Which one is it? Who is it? How old are you, man? You 10? Okay. And who's our oldest in here? Our oldest. Y'all ain't got a rock, paper, scissors for the oldest. All right, somebody who think they might be the oldest. How about you? How old are you? 15? 15? 14. He got everybody beat. All right, so we got age group 10 to 15. Okay. I think y'all can handle story time. Y'all want story time? Story time. Let me share a little story with you about a little risky situation I found myself in when I was your age. I was about 13 years old. I stayed in an apartment complex that was on the backside of a trailer park. And me and a group of friends, I had two guys I liked to hang out with. They were older than me. One of them was 15, the other one was 16. They were older than me. They were in high school. I was still in middle school, but those was the guys I wanted to hang out with when I wasn't in school. So it was summertime, I was bored, it wasn't much to do. We was hanging out and we would go over there to the trailer park and we found ourselves just doing stuff just for the heck of it, just to be wasting time. You know, you start trying to make fun. You know, when you're bored, you want to find something to do. So, you know, we started hanging out in the trailer park and running around, and eventually we ended up getting into some trouble. We started breaking into abandoned trailers and everything. We go in there just see what people left behind, you know, see if we could find something that was worth anything. And a lot of times we end up damaging the trailers, you know, just being little boys. I believe I was hearing a statistic that they believe that teenage boys can be the most violent out of all beings. And I think that says a lot, but that doesn't have to fit your description. But at that time, you know, I knew better. My mama raised me better than that. My mama was at work and I was taking advantage of it, you know. Hanging out with guys that was older than me, trying to make an impression on them. That was often, you know, what we did. And then there was an abandoned t-shirt shop that they made t-shirts at, and it was abandoned. And we started going in there. They had some like supplies, some t-shirts left. And you know, we was in there and they got a hold of some paint thinner. So some paint thinner, and it's flammable in case y'all ain't know. It's a real flammable chemical. And so the guys that I was with, you know, and we had been doing stuff we ain't had no business doing, stealing cigarettes and everything like that, going off smoking cigarettes, and you know, just stuff we ain't had no business doing. And but we was in that t-shirt shop and we was bored, didn't have nothing to do, just doing foolish things, not thinking at all. And one of my friends, he got a hold of that paint thinner and he just started spreading it everywhere. And I didn't really know what his plan was, but I could tell it wasn't really a good idea. I knew something was up with him spreading that paint thinner off everywhere. So then the other guy comes and he got a cigarette lighter and he goes to light up some material, and the whole place began. I mean, it was just like that. The whole place caught on fire. I was already at the edge by the door, and I was first one to take off running. But then I looked back, and then I seen my friend, and he was struggling. They were scared too, just like me. They were scared too, and so he was trying to put dirt in a bucket to carry back in to put the fire out. And so I was hesitant. I didn't want to leave my friend behind who was struggling, trying to fix something. At the same time, I didn't want to get in trouble, cause I was just hanging out. Just trying to have fun. I looked up to these guys, and here it is. I know it's some trouble. There's a fire that's been started. So once I see that they were not going to be able to put the fire out, man, I ran back to the house. I had learned a few things. I ran back to the house. I changed my clothes. I ended up going to the edge where there was close to somebody's house. I knew I was standing out there, and by now the place is up. I mean, it's up in flames. There's no stopping it from burning down. And so I'm standing out there. Then I started playing stupid. You know, y'all know what I'm talking about. You play dumb like you don't know what's going on. So I started playing stupid. I'm out there like, what is going on? What's up with the t-shirt factory out there? Somebody say, I don't know. It's on fire though. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened to it. And I continue to play stupid. Eventually the fire truck gets there. Then I started getting nervous. You know, because at that time I thought everybody had a fingerprint machine that they could check and see who's guilty and who ain't guilty. So, you know, I began to really get scared. But, you know, thanks be to God, you know, I never got mentioned with it. You know, and that was a blessing. But at the same time, I was guilty. I was there, and I could have been associated with that. If my friends had got in trouble or got charged with that, I mean, that t-shirt factory burnt down to the ground. It burnt down to the ground. It was a little abandoned like building, but it burnt down to the ground, and it could have been worse. It could have caught other trailers on fire. It could have spread. It could have been real bad. But out of that situation, which was very risky, you know, I think I can learn and maybe share with you a lot of lessons out of it. Number one, man, boredom can be your worst enemy. And what boredom is when you just don't have a plan for yourself. So as my brother was talking about potential, when you got potential and you understand your purpose, so when you begin to develop some skills in your life, whatever it may be, it could be playing video games, you know, that makes money nowadays. So if there's something you like, maybe that's something you should embrace. But once you find your purpose, once you discover your potential, it's important that you set goals to cultivate that and to play in that, because boredom can be an enemy and put you in some risky situations. It's a lot of people, and I mean, you can ask around, but it's a lot of people who done found themselves in trouble because they got bored and they just didn't have nothing else to do. I was just trying to hang out. I didn't have no plan. It was just what we gonna get ourselves into. You know what I mean? A lot of times, boredom can be your enemy. Idleness and not having a plan. So it's important that you get a plan for yourself. You know what I mean? If you got skills, or if you got a talent or something, you know, you need to be planning on how I'm gonna use this. How can I get better at it? Your time ought to be taken up doing something constructive with yourself. Because if you're not doing something constructive, you might end up doing something destructive. Absolutely. You know what I mean? If you're not doing something to build, you know, you can have a whole set of bricks in front of you. And some of you might want to take that risky decision and make that choice to throw that brick and bust a window out. Just boys being boys, having fun. Some of you might be more creative and say, you know, I think I can build something with this. I think I can fix something with this. So when you look at what's in front of you, you know, you look at your hands and you see what you have, it's important to make a plan for it, because boredom can be your worst enemy. How about temptation? You know, I was tempted by my friends to follow them, go around with them. Because, you know, popularity means something, right? I mean, nobody wants to just be a straight up outcast. Nobody wants to be a person that nobody likes. But sometimes we get caught up in doing what's popular. And let me tell you something, when you find yourself in a risky situation, the crowd ain't gonna follow you in trouble. The crowd ain't gonna step up and say, no, punish me, don't punish them. Nah, that's when you become an individual. So you might as well lead into your life being an individual and make smart decisions, make wise decisions, because you're gonna have to make some choices in your life. And a lot of your choices, in fact, all of your choices will define you and determine who you are. So it's important that you think about the decisions that you're making. You know, don't just do stuff just out the blue and just being random, because man, they can lead you into a lot of trouble and put you into a lot of risky situations. You know, sometimes, you know, the crowd, sometimes it's girls. Y'all get into the age, you said between 10 and 15. Yeah, I think see, back in my day, we didn't have phones and everything. We were writing little letters. We write a little letter and put a checkbox. Do you like me? Yes or no? Y'all. Some of y'all don't know nothing about writing letters. But now you got phones and stuff. Y'all getting in the age where you might have a little girlfriend or something. You want to spend some time with her and everything. And then boys, listen, even men do some strange things to impress some women. You know what I mean? But look, what you got to know is be solid in who you are. Like you was talking about your identity. When you know who you are, you ain't got nothing to prove. And a lot of times you'll get yourself in a risky situation trying to show how much of a man you are, trying to show how strong you are, how fast you are, how witty you are, and you put yourself in a risky situation. Know that you don't have anything to prove to anybody. You don't have to put yourself in danger or put yourself in risk or at risk just trying to prove something to somebody. Let me show y'all how good I am. And then you go put yourself in harm's way. Let me show y'all how swift or how quick I can be. And then you go put yourself in a threat or in danger. You know, as much as we, like superheroes, and I'm a Marvel fan myself, we ain't Superman. We don't have superpowers. And your life is precious. So it's important that you guard yourselves in that way. And then, as you plan and prepare, and as you begin to think and use your mind, you'll get sharper. And as you get sharper, it's important that you be able to tell when something is a setup. Because you ought to be able to tell, hey man, hey, y'all want to come with us? We got this going on. It's gonna be some girls there. Such and such gonna be there. This person gonna be there. And you're like, man, I'm bored. I ain't got nothing to do. But if you know maybe some of these people are involved in risky situations, or if you can't ask and say, okay, what's the plan when we get there? And they don't have one, there probably ain't a place that you should be going, or there probably ain't a group you should be involved with. You want to get together with people that got a plan for their life, that's got purpose in their life, that's got goals in their life. Because, if you're hanging out with 5 people that's wasting away, you'll be number 6 that begins to be a waste. And I don't want that for y'all, man. I don't want that for y'all. And I don't want y'all to have to go through the things that I went through. I ended up, man, making a lot of decisions in my life trying to impress people. I wanted so bad to be a thug. My daddy was a gangster, and I wanted to be like my daddy, man. But I made a lot of decisions in my life that put me in risky situations. Thankful. I'm thankful that, I was able to get by and escape a lot of them. But that ain't always the case for everyone. It's not. So just be mindful about the choices that you're making. And if you don't know where something is headed, and you can't say for certain what the plan is or what the goal is, step away from it. Just say, hey, that ain't worth it. Don't waste yourself. Don't waste your time. Do something constructive. Build something. Discover your skills in your life and cultivate that. Do things to make that stronger, to make that better. Whatever your skills may be. And I'm a firm believer that everybody's got a purpose and everybody has a talent or a skill. And you might have to do some soul searching to find out what that is. But hopefully we get y'all connected with some of these mentors and everything, and we can get you on the right track if you don't know what you want to be or what you aim to be in life. But do your best to avoid risky situations. Don't follow the crowd in popularity. Don't fold into temptation. And don't just do things out of idleness. Idle hands or idle mind can be the devil's workshop. I'm done. I'm through. I hope that helps you.
Any questions?
So the building that burned down, was it on the news?
No, I wasn't on the news because it was out in the country. Now, if it had been closer to the city, it probably would have been on the news. I mean, because it completely burnt down. Like by the time the fire department got there, it was completely in flames. And they said it really ain't nothing we can do. We just gotta basically contain the fire and let it burn down. But they did know it was some kids that did it. They said there's probably some kids playing around in here. So yeah, fortunately it didn't spread and it wasn't on the news or anything, but it was definitely some trouble.
That's a secret to carry.
Yeah. Y'all don't go tell on me now. Any other questions?
He's speaking the truth about video games. My son loves video games. And I try to tell him that, he should look into video game development. Do that. Grand Theft Auto, it just came out, Part 5. He did $1 billion in a day. But my son, he chose the Navy, and I'm very proud of it.
Yes,
So next up is Mr. Bass. He is talking about being a self-advocate and confidence.
All right, good afternoon. I'm gonna do things a little bit different. You guys are really quiet, so I know it's hard to just sit and listen. So as I'm going through this, I need y'all to interact with me. The more you interact with me, the fast as it's gonna go. If you don't interact with me, I'm gonna stop and wait till you interact with me. So I'm telling you the rules up front. All right, so let's see if we can do this. So first and foremost, I need you to repeat after me. I am the greatest.
I am the greatest.
All right, we've been talking about being greatness, right? There's a really, really popular quote that's been going on for about 50 years now. It says, I am the greatest, and I said that even before I knew I was. All right, I am the greatest, and I said that even before I knew that I was. All right, that was said by Muhammad Ali. Does anybody know who that is? Who was Muhammad Ali?
Like a boxer.
He was a boxer. He was one of the greatest boxers to ever play the sport, to ever step in the ring. He will always and forever be one of the legends of boxing. All right. When he said that, a lot of people thought that he was just bragging. They thought he was being arrogant. All right. They thought that he was only talking about his sport. I'm a great boxer. What we didn't know is when he said those words, he knew that he was putting himself on a public stage. Okay, 50 years ago, he put himself on a public stage and said, I am great. Before he knew that he was going to be great. And he was teaching us, how do we identify ourselves? How do we build our own confidence? How do we establish an identity for ourselves? You got to speak it into existence. And that lesson has been going on for the last 50 years by these small words that he decided to speak very, very publicly in front of the entire world. And the world still uses those words today. Okay? And that's what I want to talk to you about as well. And I just hope that I can carry that message and that you have something to take away from this by the time that I'm done. Okay? In order to help us get there, I want you to remember one word today, outside of greatness. That word is grind. All right? Anybody heard that word before? I'm sure you have. Somebody tell me what grind means. I'll wait.
Work hard.
Means work hard. What else? What does it mean to grind? Grind it out. What does it mean? Anybody? Somebody? I told you, we got till 4 o'clock, right?
Has something to do with effort.
What you got?
Consistency.
Consistency. Perfect. That's exactly what it means to grind. So if you take one word away from what I say today, the word is going to be grind. But it's not grind in the way that you're thinking about it. It's grind as an acronym, all right? So to start off, I'll give you the letter G. Guard your value. Okay? Guard your value. Nobody out there can take your value away from you. Nobody. Who here has ever been to like an arcade or a carnival or something like that? All right. So when you go to an arcade, right? You take mom and dad's money, get your little card, you swipe it. Every time you swipe it, you got to pay tokens, right? But if you do good at the game, what do they give you in return? They give you tickets. All right. So you've been in the arcade for like 2 hours. You got 135 tickets. You're feeling good about yourself. You walk over to the counter. You're like, hey, I got 135 tickets and I need cash me. All right. Where do they keep all the best prizes?
Up top.
Up top. On the top shelf. And that's when you find out your 135 tickets is enough to get a rubber bracelet and a sticker, right? You might get some Tootsie Rolls. And you walk away feeling discouraged. Like, I've been at this so long, like I thought I was doing good. But I still can't reach the top shelf. I still can't get those prizes on the top shelf. Right? Why? Because the best things are kept out of reach. Okay? That's the same with you. That's the same with your life. All right? Each and every one of you, you're on the top shelf. You're on the top shelf. You are a prize. Right? And not just anybody can get that prize. All right? You got friends that want to down you and grade you and they don't support you. Guess what? You can't reach my value. You're not up here with me. All right? Don't take yourself off the top shelf just because others can't reach you. All right? What that means is if your social circle is bringing you down, or they're not ready to meet at your level, don't Don't belittle who you are to go meet them, right? Because that's when what? Bad decisions happen. That's when the risky situations start happening, right? Because you look at it as, oh, well, all of my friends aren't as motivated as I am. All of my friends don't have the same appetite that I have. Well, let me just stop eating for a second. Let me stop working for a second because I want to go hang out. I want to go, have some fun and do the things that they want to do so they don't look at me different, right? But that's when we put ourselves in those compromising situations that we were talking about, all right? You cannot lower yourself to people who don't see your worth, all right? Stay on the top shelf. G, guard your value, all right? Moving to R. R, refuse limits, right? Your entire lives. You guys, ages 10 to 15, right? You guys got a lot of life to live. When you look around at all the adults in this room, all the mentors, now I'm telling you, between all of them, we've been through some stuff. We have been through some stuff. You guys have a lot to learn, and you're gonna go through a lot of situations. Don't let people put you in a box, okay? Don't let them box you in. Don't let them put labels on you that limit your way of thinking, that limit your way of acting, that limit your belief in yourself, because they will do it. They will try. And once it starts working, guess what? Those limits, they don't go away. Those same people, they're gonna keep clapping at you. They're gonna keep telling you the negative things. They're gonna tell you what you can't do. They're gonna tell you what you can't be. They're gonna tell you you're not smart enough. They're gonna tell you you're not athletic enough, right? They're gonna call you things like nerd, and you take it as a derogatory term, right? Because you're smarter than they are, right? Because your grades are better than theirs. They're gonna make fun of you for it? How does that make sense? It doesn't, right? Who here has been stuck with a label before? Anybody? Nobody? I'm gonna tell you guys a little story. I was stuck with a label when I was young, all right? And the label that I got stuck with was, you're not black enough. You are not black enough. So imagine that as a teen, right? As a young boy, to be told by the people I'm supposed to be with, right? The people that look like me. Oh, no, you're not black enough. You can't do the things that you do. You're not a thug. You're not a gangster, right? You don't sound like us, so you can't be one of us. So guess what I did? I changed myself. I changed myself to be like them. And as soon as I did that, they accepted me. I dressed the way that I was supposed to. I talked and used the slang that I was supposed to. I started smoking because I was supposed to. I started rapping because I was supposed to. I changed myself. I lost myself in that. Eventually, I went to jail. Not long. I went in like prison for 20-something years. But I did get arrested because I was in a situation that I wasn't supposed to be in. Right? I changed myself. And it wasn't until, it was actually that when I got arrested. I got arrested, and the guys that I got arrested with, I ended up taking the fall for something that wasn't my responsibility, right? Because it's not cool to snitch on people.
That's what they say.
We're not supposed to tell the truth, right? You're supposed to take it to the grave. So I got out of jail the next day, and these two individuals, they came to my house, to my mother's house, and their mom came with them, and we were all in the living room. We were having a conversation, and they all asked what happened. And the two of them, who were brothers, who I've known for the past 18 years of my life, the two of them came into my mama's house and lied about the entire situation. And it was that day that I said, you know what? This isn't me. This isn't who I am. I had to change my identity back to what I was comfortable with, back to the way that I was raised, back to the values that my parents had instilled in me. The message here is when people try to limit you and they try to put you in a box, you gotta walk the other way. You gotta refuse it. You have to know in your mind and in your heart, this is who I am. This is not who I am. And you gotta be willing to stand up to those people. Nah, bro, not today. We're not going. Why? Because you don't have a plan. I'm not getting in that car because you can't tell me where we're going. Right now is the time that you have to start making those decisions, okay? Refuse limitations. I is for improved daily. My trainer over here is gonna appreciate this. How many of y'all play sports? I do. Every one of y'all is gonna raise y'all's hand. How many of y'all are good at sports? Confidence? Let me ask you a question. How long you been playing sports? Since you were 5. How old are you now? 13. What sports do you play? Basketball, track, and football. Okay. I'll give that for you. Let me ask you a question. Are you better at those sports today than you were last year? Why is that?
Because when I was little, I really didn't know how to play, and I would just get started at it. But now that I'm more older and I'm understanding more, I know more of it than I used to. Because when I first started playing, it's like I'm just playing for fun. But now that I got older, I play for my family and stuff like that, so I can help them out and stuff like that.
Which one's your favorite?
Football.
Football. All right, so let's talk football for a second. What position you play?
Running back, receiver, corner.
Okay, this man said, put me anywhere on the field and I'm gonna be all right. Running back, receiver, corner, and safety. All right. So, what's your favorite position? Running back. Okay. Playing running back. Do you have to practice?
Sir?
Do you have to practice? Oh, don't tell me you just naturally good. You don't practice?
I practice.
You practice. Are you sure you practice? Yeah. Okay. I'm assuming you're a natural athlete though, right? Okay. All right. How often do you practice?
Practice every day.
Every day. Why do you practice every day?
So I can get better.
So you can get better. My man, what's your name?
DJ.
DJ. He just did my entire presentation for me. That was it. Improve daily. You absolutely will not get better if you don't work at it. I don't care what your thing is. Whether it's sports, whether it's gaming, whether it's art, music, whatever it is that you choose to do in life, when you pick it up for the first time, guess what? You might not be good at it. You probably won't be good at it. But as you progress, as you train, as you put in the work, as you put in the effort, and one thing that you said, DJ, as you find motivation behind what it is that you're doing, you will continue to grow and continue to get better. Guys, I am 40 years old. And did you know that for the last 39 years, I have never owned my own business?
Wow.
This year, I opened my own business. But guess what? For the last 20 years, it was a dream of mine. I needed to put myself in a position where I could open my own business and go into business for myself. And so what did I do? I surrounded myself with like-minded individuals. Y'all look in the back of the room. See that gentleman back there? That's the reason I own my own business. Because I aligned myself with people that thought like me, people that had the same visions as I had, people that had the same motivation and the same drive that I had, and people that pushed me to continue to improve. Okay? And negate negativity. Is fear a bad thing?
No.
No. How many of you guys get scared of stuff? You guys get scared of anything?
Yeah.
Sometimes. Guess what? It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be afraid, but it's not okay to be negative. Okay? Fear is not a bad thing. Fear is what keeps you sharp. Okay? Fear keeps you honest. A lot of times fear keeps you alive. Yeah. Be honest with you. Absolutely. Negativity is the things where you say that I can't, that I'm not good enough, right? Where you've affixed yourself to those labels and they start convincing you that this is true about me, and you start doubting yourself. Okay? Use fear to push you forward. Use fear to find faith in yourself that you can and will do anything that you want to do. But as soon as you start doubting yourself, as soon as you start being negative minded about yourself, guess what? You will fail. You will not make it. I know there's a lot of adults that say failure is not an option. I don't agree with that. You have to fail. You have to fail in life. You will fail at something in life. But what do you do with that failure? Right? Does it become a negative thing to you where you are now too scared to get back up and try again? Or does it become your motivation? And that's when fear kicks in. Guess what? I was a little bit nervous to come in here today. This is the first time I've talked to a group of 10 to 15-year-olds in my life. I told you guys, I have all girls at home. That's why I ran to this opportunity, because there was no girls here, except for the hostess. Sorry about that. Guys, when you negate negativity, you are shielding off the negative energy that's in your life. You're shielding off the negative voices in your life. You're shielding off the negative friends that are in your life. And you are finding reasons to move forward. Okay? Don't fight fear, fight the negativity. Because fear will sharpen you, and negativity is going to keep you small. Okay? Last but not least, I'm going to wrap it up, is deep. You have to defend your voice. Everybody in here has a voice. All right? Who has been in a situation where you probably should have spoke up about something, but you didn't? Guys, it's normal. It's normal. We all can't be the Malcolm X's. We all can't be the Muhammad Ali. Hey, I'm sorry. There's sometimes I'm looking at something that's not supposed to be right. I'm 40 years old. Like, I'm supposed to be them. Right. It happens. It happens. But guess what? In your life, there's going to be a moment. There's going to be a moment where you have a decision to be so bold and to affect so much change that it feels right. Right? It's going to feel like the right time to use your voice for good. Okay? All this, degrading each other and pulling people down and pushing people down and stomping them all, like, that's we don't have time for that, y'all. We just, there's no time for that. Life is too small for that. Life is too short for that. Use your voice to build people up positively. Surround yourself with people that are going to build you up positively. If you hung out with friends and was like, bro, you suck as well. You want to hang around that every day? No. You don't. So don't be that person when it comes to other people. This is self-advocacy, right? Self-advocacy is learning to speak up for yourself. Unfortunately, that's not something that's easy to learn. It's not easy to learn. There have been times when I spoke up for myself and I got hit. Just to be honest with you. Right? There were times where I spoke up for myself and I was actually wrong about it. But I had to use those as opportunities to learn what's the right way to speak up. What's the right way to speak up for yourself? Right? What's the right voice to use? What's the right tone to use? One of the favorite things that people say is not what you say, it's how you say it. Right? So it's normal to be afraid or hesitant to speak up, but just know that in your life you're gonna have a moment. You're gonna have to make a decision. This is my time to be bold. Okay, so be ready. Your voice is your power. Use it and defend it the right way. So in closing, repeat after me. I am the greatest.
I am the greatest.
Say it like you mean it. I am the greatest.
I am the greatest.
Just said that even before he knew that he was. This isn't about arrogance, it's about belief in yourself. It's about grinding so that your work and your words line up. Grinding so that your work and your words line up. So take away the word grind, guard your value, refuse limits, improve daily, negate negativity, and defend your voice. Greatness doesn't just happen, it comes from the ground. All right?
questions that y'all have. Nobody. Our next speaker will be Jordan Bonner. He's talking about decision making and peer pressure.
Like you said, my name is Chrief. I'm gonna give y'all a little background about myself, and I'm gonna speak to y'all on it. So I graduated from Carrollton High School, where I played football for 4 years. I then continued my football career at Purdue University, where I played for 2 seasons, before transferring to Elon University, where I finished my collegiate career, and I earned my degree in business with a focus on sales and marketing. I am now in the media ministry at my father's church, Mount Zion Baptist Church in Carrollton, Georgia, right down the road. And I'm gonna speak to you about my high school experience and my college experience as well. So during my high school and college journey, I was faced with many opportunities in decision making, and it was incredibly tough. Decision making and peer pressure can be difficult, especially when your friends are doing things that don't align with your goals and your values. But in those moments, I learned the importance of staying focused and making choices that protect your future. So whenever you guys are faced with peer pressure and making a hard decision, just always think about the goals and values that you want to accomplish. Like y'all said, some of y'all play sports, some of y'all don't. But if you don't play sports, there's something that you want to do that you can accomplish as long as you put your mind to it and stay down and stay the course. So a lot of y'all face peer pressure on a daily basis. Y'all young, y'all probably hang around people that y'all not supposed to hang around. And we all did it. Everybody in this room now hang around people who ain't supposed to hang around. But in your gut, you got a gut feeling that's telling you, nah, I don't think I should do this. Or if you even got to think about doing something that you know you should be doing, then you know, don't do it. Because decision making and peer pressure can put you guys in a position that sometimes you can't come back from. I had classmates, teammates in high school that got arrested and went to jail. And guess what? They couldn't play basketball no more. They couldn't play football no more. And that one decision making that you make can change everything for the rest of your life. I done seen guys in college make decisions they can't come back from. And those type of situations when you in college, that's really the last shot. Some guys make it to the league, some guys don't make it to the league. I had an opportunity to play pro ball, but I got hurt. I had an injury, but that's beside the point. What I'm telling you is that you guys can do the same thing I did. You can go to college, you can earn a degree, you can be cool. It's cool to be smart. I promise it is. Y'all gonna meet a lot of girls that's smart, and guess what? Girls like smart men. They like smart young boys. Y'all can be the cool guys. It's cool, making the right decisions, staying out of trouble. But guess what? You stand out of trouble, guess what? You're gonna have the opportunity to do more things. And once you get in trouble, you get kicked out of school, or you can't go to college, or whatever the case may be, then what? So when you guys are put in a position to make a decision, always remember like what I was taught growing up. And some of y'all are still growing up, some of you guys are young, some of you guys are at that age where decision making can make or break your life. So what I come to tell you is always stay firm, stay strong in what you guys do. You guys want to play sports, work out every day. Put in that extra work after practice, before practice. When nobody's looking, put that work in. Because I promise it's going to pay off. It did for me. Every day, we had summer workouts. After summer workout, I'm right back. 2 hours later, I'm right back working out again. Because what? Guess what? He said boredom. Boredom can really hurt you. But when you bored, go shoot a basketball. Go tell one of the guys, let's go throw the ball. Let's do something productive. Don't do nothing destructive. Like he said, don't do nothing destructive. Do something productive. Do something that's going to help you elevate in life. Because you just sitting around, let me just go hang out. Let me just go do this. You guys hanging out, they ain't trying to do what you want to do. They ain't trying to go to college. They don't want to play ball. And some of the guys that y'all hang around that y'all not supposed to hang around, guess what? They envious. They envy what you do. They envy how good y'all are. My mom used to tell me all the time, everybody ain't gonna be your friend. Everybody y'all think y'all friends, they not y'all friends. They're not y'all real friends. If they want y'all to make a bad decision, they're not y'all friends. And guess what? Because they want to do something you want to do. They want to do something that you do, but they can't. Maybe because they don't have a strong mindset. Maybe because they're not determined enough. Maybe because they're not motivated enough. But always stay motivated. Always think about the positive things. Don't think about the negative. Because in sports, there's gonna be a lot of negative. I got hurt in high school. I didn't even get to play my senior year. I played 3-4 games my senior year. I was devastated. But guess what? I stayed the course, stayed positive, kept going to rehab, kept being a good teammate, kept being a leader. All those things lined up along each other. If you want to be that guy, you gotta be a leader. You gotta be the one making the right decisions. You gotta be the one saying, nah, bro, let's go do this. Let's go work out. Let's go to the gym. You gotta be the ones that you stand out to others. Cause everybody doing something wrong, they not standing out. They gonna stand out. Y'all gonna stand out to the police because guess what? Y'all doing the wrong thing. That's who y'all gonna stand out to. That's who's gonna be watching y'all. Ain't gonna be no girls. Ain't gonna be nobody. Ain't gonna be none of that. When you in jail, guess what? Ain't nothing but all men. Ain't nothing but men in jail. That's what y'all gonna be surrounded by. So if y'all wanna be cool, look cool, act cool, do the right things, make the right decisions, don't fall in that peer pressure. That one little moment will take away everything. You'll never be able to throw it back. You might be able to throw a basketball to somebody outside the street, but it ain't gonna be going to practice. It ain't gonna be at practice. You might be able to go to the park and shoot basketball, and we gonna be with an old head. Oh man, I could have did this or I could have did that. But guess what? He made a bad decision. So those bad decisions can tear you apart. And then guess what? You will be one of the guys peer pressuring another young guy and repeating the whole cycle. So I'm gonna leave y'all with these 4 T's. The first one gonna be think smart. Always take a moment to process the situation. If it doesn't feel right, it's not helping you. Get out of it. Because y'all know what's right from wrong. Y'all got parents, y'all got mentors, y'all got counselors at school, y'all got males that's around y'all every day. Y'all go to school, even if y'all don't have a male in the house, there's males at school, and they're gonna push y'all to do the right thing. So there's no excuse. Oh, my daddy, it ain't always about your daddy. It ain't always about that. You got people at school, you got coaches, they wanna look out for you, they love y'all, boy. So y'all just do the right thing. It ain't always gotta be about, oh, my daddy this, it's not that. The second one's gonna be time. Ask yourself, will this cost me time towards my goals? Time is valuable. Don't waste it. Every little time y'all got to go put the extra work in or do school work, read a book, do that. It's keeping you out of trouble, do that. Because guess what? It's gonna be more fun playing on Saturdays, playing on Fridays than it is sitting in a cell all day with nothing to do. Talent. Use your talent to reach your goals. Don't let distractions or bad decisions take you away from the opportunity to work hard. I was fortunate enough to have a mother and a father that cared for me, but I was also fortunate enough to want to build my own life and do my own thing so that I used my talents in order to get me to college. I had 25 offers in high school. They was all D1. So if y'all want to do that, y'all want to have offers and y'all want to go to this university or go to that university, your talent is going to get you there. But you also got to work hard and put that work and time in. And the last one, treasure your life. Value the gifts God has given you. You don't have to follow the crowd to be true to who you are. You don't got to follow the crowd. You only get one life. You can't get it back. After that one life is gone, you only get one. After you make that bad decision, it might be one you can't come back from. It might be one your mom can't get you out of, your daddy can't get you out of, your coach can't get you out of. So treasure your life. I got a lot to life to live. And I do too. I'm only 25. I ain't that much older. These guys got a lot more wisdom than I do. But I'm here to tell you as a young guy, a young person, treasure everything y'all got. Utilize y'all resources. Utilize the males that are around y'all. Utilize y'all coaches. They want to look out for y'all, but they want to also make sure you looking out for yourself. They ain't gonna hold your hand and do everything for you. You gotta want to do that. Y'all gotta want to go to college. Y'all gotta want to go to school every day. They want no skipping. When I went to school, I ain't skipping no classes. In high school, I wasn't skipping no classes. Because we all want to go to school. We didn't want to sit at home and have nothing to do. Of course you're gonna get it. Of course you're gonna laugh and hee ha ha in class, but it's better than staying at home all day, and it's better than doing nothing and becoming useless. Use the life that y'all have, and utilize the resources y'all have, because they can take you a long way. I'm a living testament. I'm telling you, it can take you a long way. So that's all I got for y'all.
Hey man, give it another round of applause for these young men. today, for y'all being attentive, for listening. And then we want to give a big round of applause for Miss Portia Starr, who put this together. She really is trying to pull this thing together and let y'all know y'all got a village. You see what I'm saying? That's what this whole event is about, to let y'all know that y'all got people in y'all corner going hard for y'all. I'm gonna give it for you.
So yeah, like he said, the reason why I wanted to do this mentorship program is called King in Him, because there is a king in every single one of y'all. And just like these men were saying, you have to build upon that. I have boys, I'm a boy mom, 2 of mine are here now, but there's a king in each one of you guys. And you just have to build upon that. And also, like he was saying, I wanted you guys to know that there are people here for y'all. You have men that surrounding y'all right now that y'all can go to. You don't have to stress about things. You don't have to make your own decision. You have people that you can reach out to. So we have a mentorship program, and also we'll be doing 3 more of these events. And so if I don't know, I'll have to get in contact with you guys' parents to, you know, get y'all the information about it. But before I get to the drawing, because we did bring y'all gifts and we want to make sure that everybody here leaves with something, I want to hear from each boy. I just want to hear one thing that y'all, I see you looking at me like that, one thing that each person learned from this. So I'm gonna pass around the mic. I'm gonna start here. What's your name? Okay. So one thing that you learned. It's one.
Don't make bad decisions.
Okay. What's your name? Robert. That's right. What's one thing that you learned?
Not to get in trouble.
Blue. What did you learn?
Be creative.
Be creative. I'm gonna ask a few of y'all to expand on some of these things, especially if you're older. Tell me one thing, what's your name and one thing that you learned, boss?
My name is Lennox. Just thinking of it. Don't let bad people or older people influence you to do something that will get you into a bad place or somewhere you don't want to be.
Thank you. What's your name?
My name Carter. Watch the people you hang around with.
Okay.
Mhm.
My name Jonathan, and I learned to put the extra work in.
My name Kingston, and don't do stupid things that'll get you in trouble and stay positive.
My name DJ, and I learned to keep pushing even when life get very hard. My name Brayden. I learned don't be a follower, be a leader.
So hold on one second. So how do you do that? You said you learned to hang around the right friend group. How do you know the right friend group?
Pop up, please.
Making I'm sorry.
Just hang around with people that's making the same decision that you making and want to do the same thing that you want to do right now.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. One thing that you learned.
My name is Jordan. I learned to just work hard, just focus on what you want to do.
My name is Brandon. I learned to make smart decisions.
Right in front of you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Name and what one thing that you learned.